Hi everyone and welcome to Lisa Makes. My name is Lisa and today I have a tour of Stockholm yarn shops for you. Okay, so as you might know, I went to Stockholm a couple of weeks ago with my daughter and I used the opportunity to go to a bunch of different yarn shops. I did a little shopping, but mostly I was doing reconnaissance so that I could make a video for you guys in case you ever happen to go to Stockholm. If you are watching this because you are going to Stockholm and you want to know more about the yarn shops, first of all know that everybody in Stockholm speaks English. We didn't encounter anybody who didn't speak English, and most people speak fluently, like to a native level. You will even see that lots of street signs are in English, not like street signs as in like for the streets, but I mean signs from shops that are on the street, that are facing out and with their specials or whatever. A lot of those are in English. It's very, very easy to get around Stockholm and I would imagine most of Sweden in general in English. So have no concerns about that. I went to 3 yarn shops and 2 other shops that carry yarn. So there are certainly more, but I picked these ones. And again, we were only there for 4 days and we had to get a bunch done. Now I did do some shopping, but we traveled just with a backpack and sort of a handheld, shopping bag. So I couldn't buy too much, but I did have some fun and was able to buy some things. So let me tell you first about some of the yarn shops, and I'm going to put in a little bit of BeReal. The nice thing too about all of these shops is they're in slightly different neighborhoods, different areas, but you could walk to all 3 of the yarn shops, all 5 of the shops in general, by foot. You could also take the metro, which is very convenient, and you just use your smartphone to just bleep in to get a ticket, so you don't even have to buy a ticket at the stand if you don't want to. But you could also, if you were in a walking mood, you could just walk. Now we were there obviously at Christmas and it was dark. Like the sun set at 2:45 in the afternoon and it was pitch black by 3:30, like midnight by 3:30. So I also had to be really aware of my timing so that I could record for you guys when at least there was some light. Okay, so to start off is Makery 14, and let me put in a little video about Makery 14. So this shop is in Gamla Stan, which is the historic center of Stockholm. It was right around the corner from the Christmas market. It is so beautiful, so evocative. It's just got those those cobblestone streets, and as it started to get darker, it actually got more beautiful, and there's so many candles, and it was just lovely. So Makery 14 is a small shop. The lady who owns it runs it, and it's again very put together, very elegant. That's the word. It's very elegant, and they have a beautiful selection of yarns. You could probably see from the video they've got a whole wall of Durarum Natura yarns. They have chaos yarn. They had a couple of kinds that I didn't know, and then they also have some yarns that she gets directly from the mill, and then she just skeins them up and puts a tag so that people know exactly, the meterage, etc. We actually went there twice because I went on my own the day Audrey was sick, and then I went back with her because she wanted to knit a hat for her boyfriend. and she's just getting back into knitting. So we went and we got her some Gilead yarn and we got her some needles. And so she and I, you know, for the next 2 days after that, sat in cafes and knit together. And it was so nice. It was lovely. Made my mama heart happy. In terms of what I got there, I got this set of Ito needles, which I've never tried before, and I really wanted to give them a try. She had seen it as well there, and she said that Ito is, I don't know if she said it was better or if it's the same thing but better. I don't know, but I gave these a try. Audrey also got Ito needles, and she calls them her bougie needles. She's like, I got my bougie needles. She's like, I love my bougie needles because, you know, they're not inexpensive. And then I also just got a needle gauge, or a gauge to check my tension. And I just don't have a proper one of these that can fit. And we were traveling with so little space. These were sort of small things that I'd be able to fit in my bag. So those are what I got there. So the next one is a very large store on sort of a more main street in a more, in a more kind of everyday neighborhood, I would say. It's called Litet Nystan. I'm hoping I pronounced that ish correct. Wait, I can do it on here.
Litet Nystan. Litet Nystan.
That's how it's pronounced. And it's also was a great place to visit. I also went there twice. We went there the very first day after we got lunch and it was starting to get dark. We were very close to the shop. And so I went there first and I saw what they had. And then I went back there at the end and I bought a fair amount. So have a look at Litet Nystan. Obviously, they've got a huge range, so many different yarns, very busy shop. I was really drawn to the Finoeul garn, which I have never seen in person, other than when Inga from the Knitting Traditions sent me some in the advent calendar that she and I exchanged, or that she sent to me and I sent to someone else. I'd never seen it in person before. So this was so great to see all the colors. And it was just a wall of Finoeul. One side the heathered colors and one side the solid colors. And so while I was sort of in the evenings back at the hostel, we stayed on a hostel boat. I'm going to tell you about that at the end. I kind of went through and tried to figure out what would I want to make. And I decided that I think I'm going to make a color work vest. I'm thinking of the academic vest here by, I've lost her name, but I'll put it on the screen. So I picked out a little color story of Finoeul. So let me show you my color story. It's going very bright here. It is not that bright. It is much more, maybe if I take out the pink. So we've got like a heathered, there, that's better. Do you see? A heathered purple, which is again deeper than you're seeing on the screen. And then this very deep oxblood. And then this kind of yellow, but there's definitely a green. So this is, what is this? This is color 417, I think. Color 4128 and color 488. And then I added in for a pop this pink, which is not as candy pink as you're seeing it on screen. It's bright, but it's not that bright. Close. 4571. And then the base color, I picked this, which again is a little deeper. That's better. And this is color 406. And I have 3 of this one. So I'm thinking a vest, or there's a colorwork sweater by Max the Knitter that uses a fair amount of different colors, because that's the thing, I want to make sure I'm using up these as much as possible. I'll put in a picture of that, and maybe I will make that. I haven't decided. So I bought those, and I bought plastic bags at a shop, and I squeezed out all the air, and then I put them in the bag, and that's how I was able to fit these at home. And then the other thing I got there was some Ficolana Arvetta, because I've never seen it in person. Actually, well, maybe, have I? I don't remember, but I don't think so. If I have, it was a long time ago. And again, they had a whole wall. So I picked these 3 colors, and I thought they would make a fabulous striped sock, etc. and other things as well. But I've just never knit with it before, and it's actually softer than I anticipated. It's quite soft. And it's 80% wool, 20% nylon. So I got those 3 colors. And that is everything I got at Litet Nystan. You know what? I realized I actually have 4 yarn shops and 2 extras. So there's an extra. Okay, so the next one I went to is called Klara Tyg Garn. Tyg and Garn. And wait, let's see.
Klara Tyg Garn.
Klara Tyg Garn. That's what Google says. And have a look at this one. Okay, so as you can probably tell, this shop had a lot of character. It was also very busy, very teeny, lots of little places to look. You really had to kind of go through things and really take it all in because there was so much packed in that space. Really charming, lovely owners. Now, I made a little list of some of the things they carry because it's a little hard to see in the video. They carry Gusto, Yerbo, Mondial, Urth, and they had Addi needles. So those are some of the things that I saw, but they had a ton, but that's just an idea. I didn't end up buying anything there, not for any reason except for I was really trying not to buy very much, and it was really just that last day that I got all of this stuff. Other than that, I bought very little. So the last actual knitting shop is called Stockholm Co. Stockholm Knit Company, Stockholm Knit Co. And it's funny because it wasn't on my original list. And then when my daughter wasn't feeling well, I thought, okay, I'm gonna go out and try and get some recording done while she's back resting. And it happened to be that it was very close, maybe like less than a 15-minute walk from our hostel where we were staying. And so I went over, and it turns out they've only been there a month. And the owner is lovely. She was there with her son. She's originally from Germany, and we chatted for quite a while. It's a beautiful shop. In the video, you can see that she wanted me to tell you that she's still definitely building stuff because they've only been there a month. But what a lovely space. They have beautiful, I wrote down again some of theirs. So they have Rosa Pomar, La Mana, Pasquale, Kremka, Knit Pro, and Chowgu. And one thing I loved about the knit shops in Stockholm is that they mostly did not overlap. Like a lot of people had drops, right? Or like there were a few things that overlapped, but for the most part, they all kind of kept to their own, their own lane kind of thing. So it really is worth visiting the different places because they all have different stuff. I did get this book, Nordic Knits. I thought how appropriate to get Lina's Nordic Knits when I'm in Stockholm. And it's just a beautiful book. There are so many gorgeous pieces in here. And there's an interview with Petite Knit, and yeah, like I'll leave the link to this book if you want to have a flip through, but just beautiful. And again, I thought, well, it's kind of magazine, it's kind of small, I can fit it in. The 2 places that I went to that had yarn but are not yarn shops are Adlibris, which is a bookstore, and they have a whole section of yarn. Have a look. So as you could see, they had a ton of yarn, lots of, like some brands that I'd never heard of before. Obviously they had drops, they had Lanagato, they had a beautiful selection of books. That was really cool. And also lots of needles. So that's a fun place to go as well. It's significant, it's significant. I also love the free wrapping station. Did you notice that? There was a place where you could wrap your presents for free. At the airport in Stockholm, in the duty free, there was a place where you could wrap presents for free. I just thought that was awesome. Okay, and the last one is very special. I think I went 3 times. It's a thrift shop and it's called Stockholm Standmissions. It's actually a small chain. I went to another one in the center, but this one is so charming. It's literally 3 doors down from Makery 14. So if you're in that old Gamla Stan area, absolutely go. It's a thrift shop, but it's really curated and very much vintage things. Let me show you the video. Okay, so how charming and beautiful is that? I mean, I just loved poking around there and looking at different things. Beautiful knitwear. The knitwear sweater, or the hats and gloves and stuff were more than I would want to spend, so I didn't, but very nice. I got some vintage buttons. Let me show you. So I got 2 sets of vintage buttons. They were 20 kroner a piece, which is like a $1.50, €1.50. So I just got plain black, and there were 5 in the pack. And then I got these, which I think actually might be different sizes. Yes, they're not all the same, but that's okay. These sort of, what do you call this? Not mother of pearl, like, you know, very classic, nothing fancy, but I just thought they were beautiful. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. Looks like 5 are matching, or 4 are matching, and then 2 are a little bit oddball. And then if you saw that beautiful knitting book, I got the knitting book. I couldn't resist. I just thought it was so beautiful. It was, I think it cost me 2 or 3 euros. It was very inexpensive. And it turns out I have to be careful because it's falling apart. It was from 1932. If you would like a full flip through of this book, let me know and I'll do it in a separate video because it is very, delicate and I can't really flip through it unless I'm sort of above, but let me find you something to see. Here's one that's pretty. Here's one that's pretty. I could see wearing that. And I went back, like I said, twice more, and they were constantly putting out new things. And they did have some other things like this, but not knitting. They were like needlework, or there wasn't crochet. There was needlework or something else. And because I would have bought another one, but I just thought how beautiful. I keep it wrapped in the paper that they gave me because it is so delicate. But yeah, again, if you'd like to see a flip through, let me know below and I'll do a separate video. Okay, that's it. That's my little knitting shop tour of Stockholm. At the end, I'm going to show you a little bit more of the Christmas market and walking around and give you a little, little more montage there at the end. But I hope that this helps you if you're going to Stockholm. I absolutely would consider Stockholm a knitting destination, a knitter's paradise, absolutely. And if you go sit in a beautiful cafe. I'm going to put some of the names of the cafes that we went to and list them below. Go sit in a beautiful cafe, have a cinnamon bun and some coffee and just while away the time with a nice candle on your table. It is a beautiful place to be. I will absolutely go back. I'd love to go back in summer, but it was absolutely beautiful winter. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.